Hi everybody and welcome back to another Legends of Runeterra video and gameplay. Today I have a deck that's called A Bigger Boat. This is a Fizz Swain deck we're running as our champions, and we are running the Leviathan as well for Swain draw. This is our big boat that we're using to finish off the games with Fizz and Swain and his little shark companion here, Longtooth. Now in this deck we've seen kind of a few of these decks running around. Not too common, but I'm sure there are other combinations of Swain that are better than Fizz. The reason why I'm using Fizz in this deck is that we are able to kind of avoid getting hit by spells when Fizz is down. He's really good at kind of dissuading the enemy from attacking us with spells like Static Shock and Mystic Shot. The Ezreal and TF deck that's going around is super popular, and Fizz can kind of counter that with his ability where when he's targeted and you use a spell, it stops the enemy from using the spell, and Fizz will stop it. So, and then kind of the second part of this is that we are running Legion Grenadier, and we're running a full set of Noxian Fervor. So you deal 3 to an ally, deal 3 to anything. And the reason why this is working well in this deck as well is because when units are targeted and they're going to die, you can suicide them with Noxian Fervor. They're going to die anyway, so you can deal some additional damage to the enemy nexus, possibly force them to use out more of their spells, and then also slow the Ezreal level up with this sort of spell. Along with that, we are running 2 Culling Strikes. We're running Transfusion, Make It Rain, Ravenous Flock, Warning Shot. All of these cards work really well with Fizz. They're fast or burst speed, so we can get his ability off instantaneously, avoiding all of those spells. And they're also dealing extra damage, non-combat damage to the Nexus, which helps Swain level up. And then your kind of late game finisher is Swain in the Leviathan, where you can do board sweeps with Swain hitting an empty board, or like the Leviathan will stun all of the enemies on the board, and you can get a hit and clear out all of the enemies on their side. So because we are running a fairly spell heavy deck here, we've got 20 spells along with all of our champion spells if we have any of our champions out. We are running 3 of the Petty Officer and 3 of the Island Navigator. Both of them produce extra units and extra bodies that will fill up your board, even though we're running a ton of spells, and a lot of times you don't have the units in hand to play in order to block the enemy. We can also counteract that with the amount of damage that we're doing with the spells to kind of control them as well. And we've got the Arachnoid Sentry, who is really good at slowing down the game. We really want to slow down the game enough that we can get to late game with the Leviathan, and that's where we kind of finish it up. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. If you have a comment or a suggestion of a deck that you would like to see built, or cards built in a particular deck, you can send that over in a comment. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks. This looks like a Bob Ross painting. Bob Ross paintbrush marks here. Alright, we are going against a Twisted Fate Jinx deck. So this is most likely Casino deck from Mega Magui, which has been really popular lately. This guy's name is Pepsi. I wonder how we got that name. I probably will keep Culling Strike. This could be really useful for Twisted Fate. Death's Hand as well could be useful for Twisted Fate. I would like to see a Fizz here though. Arachnoid Sentry, we're probably going to roll. Alright, so we're only going to keep Culling Strike. This is kind of a hard matchup to kind of get to pick cards against here, so we'll see how it works. I've not gone against a Casino deck with this one yet. I really wish that I had drawn a Fizz.
A foray into the field? How exciting!
Alright, Ravenous Flock, so he's going to do an open attack here. We're going to put down our Legion Grenadier. This card was nerfed a little bit. He only does 1 damage now once he dies. He did get a buff to his health though. It still could make these guys not want to block into it though. I'm just going to open attack here. He'll probably block it and try to kill his astute academic. More than likely. When he dealt 2 damage to the enemy nexus, he might not block it, but we can't really do anything about that. Alright, so he drops his slot bot. We're going to place a second Legion Grenadier here and hope that he kind of rolls into 3 health. That would be really nice.
A winner is you!
And just like that, we got some good luck, I guess, today. And now we're waiting for Twisted Fate. Twisted Fate might use a... Okay, so it doesn't look like he has it yet, so he probably doesn't have either of his champions, otherwise he wouldn't be using that. Let's play our Fizz. This automatically is going to put some pressure onto him. And if he's got something like a Mystic Shot, he may be tempted to use it. That'd be kind of silly of him. And I think we're okay with ending the round. We have the Leviathan in hand too, which is really good for late game.
Oh yeah!
And now we've drawn into Swain. We're leveling up Swain pretty slowly though. I might play Swain just to get him down, because if he doesn't have another unit here, or a unit with more than 3 attack, I'm going to be able to get a hit onto the Nexus. And he could be running something a little bit off from Casino as well, like a Thermogenic Beam. That could be something to potentially look for.
Deal me in.
Okay, so he's going to use Gold Card here, and we waited for Twisted Fate so that we could Culling Strike him right here. He shouldn't have a way to save this. Pick a card. Okay, so Suit Up. Force him to use Suit Up. That's fine.
All that glitters.
Alright, and I think we're just going to end the round now. We forced him to use a card that he might not have wanted to, and all those fleeting cards he could have used now don't do him any good.
Searching for stuck winners.
Alright, we're going to block with our Legion Grenadier here, and we can kill this slot bot with Ravenous Flock. We're not really committing a lot here, 1 damage, and also threatening to take him out. We'll force him to use something else here if he has it. I don't really suspect that he does. Alright, so he's probably got a Mystic or a Static Shock in hand. I don't really see him using that unless he didn't.
After the battle, the radiance.
And Twisted Fate is at 1 of 8. Alright, so this is fine. We are going to play our Petty Officer and hope we don't get a Shadow Fiend.
I need more hands.
Alright, that's a pretty good one. Mage Seeker Conservator here. That's good for getting a spell for Fizz, so that's nice. He's at 4 of 8. And we may just attack into him here. We've got Leviathan back up for next round, so I'm okay with kind of trading my Swain into him. We've also got Make It Rain that we could use to Let's just attack like this. I'm okay with trading my Swain into him. If he blocks into it, we can use Make It Rain and potentially kill him. We're probably going to use Make It Rain anyway this turn. But if he blocks with the Twisted Fate, we can use Make It Rain. Alright, so he's got a Mystic Shot and another Mystic Shot. We're okay with that. We are going to use Make It Rain and hope that we hit the Twisted Fate, which we do. That's really nice. Unless he's got Pocket Ace, he shouldn't be able to save his unit here. And we're going to be able to take out this guy. Alright, that's awesome. We're always keeping like a backup warning or a warning shot for Fizz here in case he targets the Fizz. Alright, and we take out Twisted Fate right before he levels up. That's super nice. And like I said, we've got a Leviathan backup here.
Don't worry, I've read all about this.
For next round. Alright, Transfusion could be a little bit better, but we're going to play our Leviathan, draw our second Swain now, and he is ready to level up. Super nice. And now all of a sudden we're threatening every round with this Leviathan. It's going to be really hard for him to take out. So now we're going to play Swain, level him up, and we've got a Mystic Shot in hand, or a Warning Shot. We can use the Warning Shot to stun the slot bot, so he can't block into Swain.
Give it a whirl.
Bleed for Noxus. Witness.
Alright, and we are just going to attack with everything here. And do a potential board wipe on him. Alright, that is fine. I don't know if he realizes what Swain does here. We have no need to use Transfusion to save Fizz. He's blocking the 2 damage, but it doesn't really matter.
Can't leave until you win.
Because Swain's going to take him out anyway. So we're going to take all of these guys out and finish off the game here. So that was a pretty good gameplay, to be honest. Not too bad. We saw some control with those cards. We're able to take out the Twisted Fate. If we didn't have the cards to take out Twisted Fate, that might have been a different story. We might have lost that game. But where we kind of kept the Ravenous Flock in hand and managed to hit Twisted Fate with the Make It Rain, we were able to win the game. Otherwise, it might have been a little difficult. We did get a little bit of luck there, but we had, I think, like a 63% chance or 66% chance in hitting the Twisted Fate as well. So anyway, that's about it for this gameplay. Pretty nice. You should try the deck out. Probably not a top tier deck, but a different way to use Fizz and Swain together.